Our episode commences with Loki rendering a sentinel senseless and concealing him in the lavatory. He then dons the sentinel's attire, altering his appearance to perfectly mimic him, and proceeds to the station before the confinement chamber. His sentinel companion inquires, "What's your condition? Has your belly improved?" Loki answers, "I'm feeling considerably recovered, incidentally. Is this the captive condemned to execution?" The sentinel affirms, "Indeed. He's so hushed you wouldn't fathom. He's the identical murderer who menaced the entirety of Hugo, the marionette manipulator." The vista then transitions to Noel undergoing a demanding exercise regimen where he is required to jog 2 circuits around the fortress ramparts inside 2 hours while bearing burden. This is his customary daybreak practice, which he invariably performs regardless of fatigue. Noel recollects his grandsire instructing him, reprimanding him fiercely. "Arise, Noel! The beasts won't linger for you. You're excessively sluggish." This was the identical juncture Noel had proclaimed he desired to become a wayfarer. From that instant onward, the amiable grandsire he recognized vanished, substituted by a severe instructor who subjected him to persistent, arduous training daily as a rhetorician class with no innate method to enhance his resilience. Noel understands that if he aspires to endure as a wayfarer, he possesses a single alternative: to practice intensely and cultivate substantial fortitude. Gradually he progressed, withstanding his grandsire's instruction day after day until he could maintain pace with him. Noel reminisces about Alma's pronouncement, "You possess a remarkable physique, yet it's regrettable because it necessitates a colossal quantity of laborious exertion to construct a frame like this. But regardless of how intensely you practice, you'll never equal the frontline combatant. Laborious exertion can't outstrip intrinsic aptitude." These utterances astonished Noel back in the present. Alma enters Noel's quarters, marveling at its elegance, and states, "I'm so elated I journeyed to visit you." They then proceed outdoors to the Guild of Abode, the locale where associates of Noel's class reside and progress. Inhabitants are a distinctive class, and truly they enter this area where Noel elucidates to her. The inhabitant is a division of the effigy. They cannot progress. It's a peculiar assembly, almost as if they exist solely to pursue other classes. Noel and Alma perceive another wayfarer as he ascends, sensing the potency within him. Noel inquires of Alma, "Would you transition into a slayer in the conclusion?" She responds, "I haven't determined yet. Do you desire me to?" Noel rejoins, "It would be advantageous in combat, but we necessitate contemplating aptitude duplication with any fresh recruits in the coming days. We require at least one more individual, as the 2 of us solely can't enterprise into the chasm. That would be far too rash, so it's preferable if you postpone for a duration. Presently, let's simply examine the choices accessible to you." Afterward, they proceed to a metalworker, Noel, regularly frequented since superior armaments bring forth the complete capability of a wayfarer. Their gear necessitates routine upkeep, so Noel greets the metalworker cordially, felicitating him on the fresh inclusion to his squad. They then proceed to the skill book emporium, which solely vends skill handbooks. Noel requests a few articles that might befit Alma and permits her to select what she prefers, informing her that her allowance is 1 million file. He states that he necessitates visiting another establishment to acquire what he desires, and that they'll reunite later. As Noah departs, we observe he's evidently distressed. Alma exclaims, "I didn't squander the currency," displaying him a tome entitled Armor Breach. Alma clarifies, "It's a missile aptitude that diminishes the objective's defense by 1/2. It cost me 800,000, and I additionally acquired this plush figurine as a cushion for 200,000. A flawless shopping excursion." She inquires if he obtained anything, to which Noel replies, "Nay, what I craved was beyond my means. The aptitude's sole pacification is a rhetorician aptitude that instantaneously subdues the deceased. They requested 30 million for the handbook, which I can't manage." Precisely then, no one discerns someone traversing nearby and swiftly informs Alma he has something to address, but will return shortly. Question: if you were in Noel's position, Would you expend a budget of 1 million file on the armor breach aptitude and the cushion like Alma did, or would you conserve the currency to acquire a more potent aptitude later? Choices. 1. Yes, I'd acquire the armor breach aptitude and the cushion like Alma. 2. No, I'd conserve the currency for a more potent aptitude later. Later, Noel proceeds to encounter his comrade Loki and gripes. Why did you have to escort me to this squalid locale? We could have conducted the transaction elsewhere. My garments will reek horribly from being here. Loki expresses remorse, stating, You comprehend I have to tread cautiously. I didn't desire to be pursued. He presents Noel a parchment, stating, Here's the intelligence you sought on that captain. But are you earnest about desiring Hugo, the marionette manipulator, to unite with your squad? Your negative response signifies affirmative. Noel states, I'm exceedingly earnest. I'm persuaded he was framed. That's why I require you to investigate to exonerate him. Loki retorts, Initially, you vend your teammates as bondsmen, and now you aspire to liberate a condemned captive to recruit him? Noel grins. Perceive it as a commendation. You're the finest informer in the metropolis. They don't designate you the metamorph for nothing. Loki responds, Flattery won't advance you. He then modifies his form to that of an elderly gentleman, then a youngster, then a lady, and numerous other appearances, stating, There's no location I can't penetrate. Noel replies, It's a scarce class that even the Inhabitants Guild doesn't completely comprehend. Who knows if this is your genuine visage or not? He requests Loki to continue his inquiry. Loki informs him, In addition to what you desired, I possess something for my prime patron. There's a perilous narcotic disseminating recently. It brings immense euphoria, but has the adverse consequence of intense fury. Stabbings have ascended because of it. The individuals vending it are inviolable, since a division of the Lucianos is behind it. They won't encounter difficulty for this, Noel remarks. This territory is under the dominion of the Gambino clan, governed by Albert. The vista then cuts to Alma, who's awaiting impatiently, pondering Noel has been absent all this time. He doesn't comprehend anything whatsoever. Then, we observe Noel conversing with himself, reflecting on the Gambino clan. I apprehended the former chief perished, and that his progeny recently assumed control. The preceding leader was a virtuous gentleman. Even Binoko esteemed him. He would never have consented to vend such a perilous narcotic. Noel notices a youthful gentleman, pondering to himself, This fellow has uncommon attributes. Is he a newcomer? If he's not cautious, he'll perish imploring far from his native land. He's still youthful though, so he must have his own aspirations and objectives. The youthful gentleman speaks to Noel, stating, You drop this currency. Retain it cautiously. This isn't a secure locale for a fragile lady like you. Hasten and depart from here. Noel replies, Permit me to clarify something. Firstly, I'm a male, not a lady. Secondly, I don't require this currency. I don't desire anything contacted by your unclean hands. Do with it as you please. He then strolls away. The youthful gentleman pursues him, but Noel abruptly rotates and strikes him in the abdomen, stating, Don't contact me. Recognize your position. You're worth no more than that silver coinage. Enraged, the youthful gentleman responds, You possess the audacity to do that. I don't relish combat, but I'm not a simpleton who can't defend himself. Noel, astonished, ponders, That posture. He's no novice. The youthful gentleman assaults, but Noel effortlessly repels each strike. Impressed by Noel's swiftness, the youthful gentleman inquires, Are you a ninja? Noel ponders to himself. Ninjas are a subclass of wayfarer, located only in a far-off island nation in the Far East. That must be where he's from. Noel replies, I'm not a ninja. I'm a rhetorician. The youthful gentleman responds, Doesn't matter. I can perceive you're robust. Now I'll utilize my aptitude. Noel, taken aback by his potency, ponders, He's formidable. If he fulfills my anticipations, I'll take him earnest. Noel then states, Demonstrate everything you possess if you desire to endure. Miguel abruptly emerges, stating, What do you believe you're doing? I instructed you to sit and behave, yet here you are causing disorder with that stick again. The vista then transitions to Alma, who is conversing with her companion. her companion states. I have 4 choices as a wayfarer. My frontline choices are the Slayer and the Tormentor. There are additionally the Pursuer and the Pilferer if I remain behind. The Inhabitants Guild stated, I have a strong affinity for the Slayer and Pursuer. It additionally relies on your party associates. Alma replies. Noel stated the identical thing, so I'm postponing it for now because he desires to recruit fresh associates. Back in the other vista, Miguel cautions the youthful gentleman. If the military constabulary observe you, don't anticipate any apology. Be prepared to compensate for disobeying me. Terrified, Koga implores for clemency, but Miguel utilizes his ring and assaults him. A pair of accursed mystical components compels someone to obey the bearer of the ring, a usage that's lawfully proscribed except in one instance, when it's between master and servant. Miguel then gazes at Noel, inquiring who he is, as it appears like Noel is combating his Koga here. Miguel continues provoking Noel with peculiar inquiries until Noel strikes him, stating he's the one who should be posing the inquiries. Miguel then questions Noel's unfamiliar accent, and Noel replies that he's from a town called Solid Land. Miguel informs him that he couldn't remain in his hometown any longer, as he used to administer a clandestine fighting ring for the Dalmer clan, but his larceny from the leader was uncovered, compelling him to seek sanctuary here. He absconded to a region dominated by a clan considerably larger than the Dalmers, hoping they wouldn't pursue him here. The vista transitions to Alma and her companion discussing the fresh party associate and needing an appointment to unite with the squad. Back to Noel, Miguel introduces his combatant Koga, clarifying that he acquired and instructed him from the beginning. He intends to have him combat in Atre's clandestine arena for a monetary prize. Miguel then inquires of Noel if he's ever partaken in the arena before, to which Noel responds that he's merely a wayfarer and had to correct Miguel about this before. Noel, realizing Miguel's deep involvement with the Dalmir clan, resolves to eliminate him to avoid becoming entangled with them. Miguel attempts to abscond, but Noel ultimately eliminates him.